Hi, Tuccis. It's Roris.
And D-Money.
Two good Tuccis ready to talk iconic friendships of film and television. This week, we are discussing and dissecting SpongeBob and Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants. Come on.
And just as a reminder, a good Tucci is a BFF that just has your back and is there for you no matter what, just like Stanley Tucci in every movie role ever. And Stanley Tucci, if you're listening, I want to know, while we talk about Bikini Bottom, do you prefer Bikini Bottom or do you prefer a bottom in a bikini?
I would like to know this as well. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much.
SpongeBob and Patrick, Bikini Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Mama gay. First off, hi. How long? I did not even think to double check. Like, how long has SpongeBob and Patrick been around? I need to know now.
Oh,
Forever, my
for
entire life,
a long
basically.
time. I
We
want to say, obviously there was like iterations of it, like in like drawings and stuff by
sure.
Steven Hillenberg for like a long time, but like the actual TV show, I want to say it's like maybe is it
I'm
like
curious.
2000,
You're so close.
98?
Oh, come on.
What is
99.
it? 99.
Officially premiered July 17th, 1999. I'll let everyone do their
99
own
was a
math.
good year.
Um, Right before
That
the
was like
millennial?
Pokemon time. That was
Yes.
SpongeBob. It
Like
was
ultimate.
Britney.
Hello.
Y2K was right around the corner. Mm.
Good vibes. That was I saw something recently of just when you hear people say talk about like the what year it is. It's always like, oh, it's 2023 and it's just like blah, but then like when you hear people talk about like the 90s or something, it's like, oh, it's 1999. When we are partying, life is good, like blah blah blah, and like there were still some problems. There's always problems. Well, the world is the world, but like we look at times very differently now than maybe we did 20 years ago.
I
Mm,
think Believe came out. Share, Leo.
I'm all Cheryl. Cheryl.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, good
Share, Leo.
times. Good times. So, however long that is now, 20. Have we reached 20 years? We've reached. Nope. Yep. I could
99,
do
yeah.
math. I
It's
could
like
do it.
24 years.
Wild. SpongeBob and Patrick, been around forever.
Like
Many,
24 and a half at this point.
almost, let's celebrate that 25. Congratulations, SpongeBob. Finally get that license, be able to get that deal on car insurance. Hello. Good for you, sweetie. Proud of you.
Oh, wow.
Many different iterations, many different forms. They have looked a few different ways, but through and through, they are SpongeBob and Patrick. They are probably the definition of best friends, that BFF
Mm-hmm.
with their Tucciship beginning literally as little infant
Little
sponges
babies.
and stars, and just here we are. We see them now. 20.
Have you known somebody that long? Like, other than family, have you known somebody since birth? Like, that you still, like, interact with?
Oh, that I still interact with?
Yeah,
No.
because, like, you can know of people
Uh-huh.
since then. Like, I remember, like, little friends that I had when I was that age, but, like, not that I still
There were
talk to.
people like I went to school like starting from the beginning. Like I didn't like preschool, kindergarten, the whole night like that all the way up into high school. There were people that I knew the whole time. That like we may have like we maybe had some classes together or we just went to the same school and like we were just in the same friend groups or we just knew of each other. So that would probably be the longest and like earliest, which is still very young to have that for 12, 13, 14 years potentially.
That is wild.
Yeah. Thinking about my friendships now and how long I've known these people, and that's a long time. Like, yeah, having knowing someone for 14 years and literally growing up together, interesting.
I could never, would never, I would not allow that. Um,
No, thank you. Not interested.
Before I was an adult, I think the longest I would usually stay somewhere before we moved was like a year, sometimes like 6 to 8 months. So I was always the new kid. I was always like having to adapt and stuff. And like, I growing up, I realized I had problems like as a kid, not like crazy, like anything. It's just like nobody noticed something because I wasn't in one place long enough. They were like, "Oh, he just talks too much," or like he's just like I don't know. They didn't notice signs along the way. I shouldn't say problems. They didn't notice signs along the way
Sure,
that if
sure,
they
sure.
did, I probably would have helped me.
The social interaction and just
hmm
being able to, yeah, actually see your
So,
environment, know your environment. That's
mhm.
wild. It's just a little nomad, just moving around,
Just
just
always on the
exploring.
move. So like to know somebody, like I did the closest I have to that is I went to school somewhere when I was like in elementary school, and then I came back for junior high and then like the first 2 years of high school before I went to another school. But when I that junior high school time, I went to school with some of the kids from elementary. They all acted like they didn't know me, but
Oh, of course. People
yeah,
people
so there was
changing.
but also like some people I genuinely did not remember.
That I could
And so
probably
like
meet.
I pulled the same thing too, but ended up becoming friends with them. They were like, you didn't like me in elementary." I was like, I don't remember you. Like
Well,
glad we're friends. Work.
that's dance, I guess.
Mm.
There's probably some people that I could see, especially some people I could run into. Like, not that that's going to happen now, but if it were to happen,
By
and
happen chance, just
right,
like
right, right, right,
girl.
right. And we have it happened to be one of those like 10, 12, 14-year people. There's a high chance that I would not even recognize them. There would be some that, no doubt in my mind, I'd just be like, oh, hey, bitch, I see you. But
hmm
there would be so, like, never seen you, never heard of you. Who are you? Sorry. Not that I would say that I'm entirely recognizable either, but compared to growing up,
Imagine you looking like that in third grade, bitch.
just full, the whole everything. Yep.
Just
The
shrunk
groomed,
down.
well, take away, honestly, take away the beard and grow the hair out a bit more and add a few, like, and just
What
round
was
out
she
the
doing in third
features.
grade?
You
What was
think I
her
remember
vibes?
that? What do you mean, what was her vibes? Honestly, this shirt, very much her vibes.
That was her vibes.
That or just like, it was just t-shirt. It was whatever. It was Old Navy. Let's be real.
Oh, okay, that was my
Old
seventh
Navy.
grade. Was Old Navy everything? Because that was the only store in the area.
Mm-hmm. Oh, mother loved an Old Navy.
Not
Loved.
mother.
Mother. Still loves
Mother.
mother. She was not mother all the time. We've grown.
Mother
We've
was not
grown.
mothering.
No, 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 no. But mother still loves an Old Navy. Mom, she has
Mhm.
the card, and she will just we'll be chatting, we'll be on the phone, and she's like, "Oh, I've got some like reward points. I've got just go find yourself a couple of things. Just go order yourself something." And I'm just like, I don't. I mean, thank you, but like Old Navy's not my select choice of
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
fashion these days.
Especially
They
these days.
correct these days. They
Uh-huh.
got some cute stuff, and honestly, I used to love their pants, bitch.
Mm.
But
Never cargo?
oh, never loved a cargo.
No.
Never, not for me.
Mm.
No, thank you. Speaking
Um.
of pants,
Cheers.
SquarePants.
Yes.
Today's
Pat Patrick. I know.
we're
I love SpongeBob.
gonna circle back for at least a moment. Yes, 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 yes.
Patrick is a hype man. Well, hype up a
Patrick
bitch.
Patrick
We'll
is there
get
for
you going.
everything.
He's full like Megan the Stallion. Like he's like a girl's girl.
Oh yes.
Like if you fuck with him, he'll fuck with you back. Like all of it.
I mean,
And
one of the first things very early on that we see of their little Tucciship and his supportiveness is SpongeBob going to interview at the Krusty Krab.
mhm.
And he's like, worried. He's like, I'm not going to get the job. I'm not going to do this. And he literally stops him and was like, no, you're going to the Krusty Krab and you're getting that job. Whose first words were blah, blah, blah. I forget the whole thing, but like, he's that bitch.
Mhm.
And he's literally down for anything and everything all the time. It is wild. Like, I feel like that's 100%, 1000% us, even early on. And
Mhm.
that's a mutual thing because like you get into your little pits of doing the most and just doing everything, and I'll just like check in and just be like, you good, gal? Like you doing it, you're doing a lot. But also like it's all good. Like all the things you're dipping your hands into and like all the things you're doing and going on, it's good. I'm gonna support you every
Mhm.
step of the way. Do you need help? Do you need a hand? Do you need an editor? Like what's going on?
Uh-huh.
But it is nice to see that Patrick is not always portrayed to be the sharpest or the brightest, but he's there
But
for his
she's there for
Tucci.
you.
He is there for his Tucci. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. What do you? I have so many. I don't even know because these are not in any kind of way, shape, or order. I have just questions
Oh
and just
goodness.
situational things, just that I like, kind of the iconic moments, and maybe some of the ones that are just not whatever. But I don't even know what I just said there. To be honest, I don't even know. What is so when you think of SpongeBob and Patrick? What's like the first most iconic moment to you? Like, what's one of your favorites, or just the ones that you just like? This is the epitome of SpongeBob and Patrick.
Well, there's two, and one of them is like the flip side. I don't want to say like the flip side, but it's like we just talked about like Patrick being the hype man, but also like that makes him a good Tucci. But another part that makes him a good Tucci is that like he'll tell you the truth. And
True.
that brings me to the first moment, which is like the look at it episode where
Okay.
SpongeBob asks if he's ugly. And Patrick's like, yeah, you're horrendous.
Yep.
And so like he's keeping it real. And so that's like when he like takes him to like the movie theater and stuff. And he's like, look at it, look at it. And he has holding SpongeBob up. But there's that, and then also just my favorite episode is Idiot Box when they're in the box and they have their imagination and like
Yes.
Squidward is like, what is going on in there? Because all the noise is coming from it.
Mm-hmm.
That is like quintessential SpongeBob and Patrick.
The ways I feel like I related to the box, the imagination box as a child, it was all
Oh,
up
I love a
here. It
box.
was all up here, mama. Not all of it.
Hmm.
I had the toys and the things that I would play with friends, but like you can do a lot with your imagination. Look at people who LARP, mama.
Not the LARPs.
Full creative imagination, living their best life, their best fantasy. Never done
Literal
it.
fantasy.
Literal fantasy. And honestly, I'm not mad at it.
Mm.
Do it.
I love a box. I love the show Out of the Box.
Oh, we can
And
talk about that sometime. We can throw her in somewhere.
love Out of the Box.
Mm-hmm.
And like watching shows like that, like the morning children programming used to get my zhuzh going, and
Yeah.
like I would have access to lots of cardboard and would start making my box forwards and then taking like rulers and measuring to like install windows with plastic wrap and like
Yes.
doing the
Doing
most.
the most.
Mm-hmm.
Very you, very on brand.
So yes, we love a box.
Keep saying it.
Yeah,
We love a
love a box
box.
for it.
Absolutely love a box. I the one about him being ugly is so funny to me. It is so insanely ridiculous. First off, how did it get that bad, pal? But you're right. When he maybe it's because you're ugly. And then, how long have I been ugly? Well, as long as I can remember, you poor ugly thing. You like reading
Oh.
SpongeBob to filth.
Mhm.
And that's how you know he's a good Tucci because he never once cared. He said, maybe
Oh
you are
no.
ugly. Maybe I do think you were just the most hideous, horrendous, whatever. But you're my pal. You're my
Mhm.
Tucci. We're in this together. Known you since birth. Which,
Mhm.
how? That's interesting to me.
My first question about that was like, do sea sponges and starfish age at the same rate? Because you know how like everything has a different lifespan.
Of course.
Like, are they both set at like 20 years? So like they age progressively together, or is one at like 7 years and the other one's at like 10 years? You know what I mean? So like obviously one's gonna be
Correct.
older sooner.
I don't know that I had ever really put that side of reality to it. I just lived in the fantasy, you know? And
Mhm.
I just said, oh, well, of course they are. But did you ever answer your own inquiry? Did you ever find out? Have you
Oh
ever?
no.
She
because
wasn't that strong. Okay.
yeah, no, it wasn't that much of a deal, and
Well, of
marine
course not.
biology or biology in general is not my strong suit.
No. Mm-mm.
No.
She kind of used to be for me, but not anymore.
Yeah,
No.
I say no to the nucleus.
All right. So I
Who will
did.
play her?
Oh, the list goes on.
Let's see. Um,
Hmm.
they've gotten into many fights,
Okay, I'm glad you're bringing this
like
up.
literal battles, like the one when they're like at the
Yeah.
beach and they're having like the sandcastle wars, or like when they're wrestling and they like get into it,
Mm-hmm.
or just arguing and getting into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that's ever happened to us. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like they also get over it real quick.
Oh, of course, in the span of this 15-minute episode, you know.
Like they'll like be like over nothing. Like something funny will happen and they both start laughing. Or like the wrestling episode, like their shorts rip off and they find out they're supporting each other's colors.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like even if it did happen to us, like these are all very us. You know, like maybe
Getting
it's not
getting
the
in spats over
underwear.
petty things.
It's gonna oh, absolutely. I really don't think we've really like we've argued about things maybe, but it's been like not even an argument. It's just like a different type of conversation than we normally have.
Oh,
Or
I get annoyed real fast.
oh, we know this.
So the
I've
tone
witnessed.
changes like that, and that's
Uh-huh.
probably like the closest to like sounding like an argument that we've had.
I feel like I've had that same switch flipped on you. Maybe not as often because you do be feeling it, but it's happened. I know it has. But yeah,
Mhm.
we've never even been mad at each other to a point where we just like didn't talk to each other because of
Yeah, like,
it.
oh, we're not talking today. Like,
Well, middle school, high
oh
school
no.
bullshittery. No, that's not the tea. So like,
No.
but I do like that, and I guess long when it's been that long, maybe we haven't reached these milestones and these points yet, as far as like whatever. So like, I could see which we do talk about
I
sometimes.
can see.
No, no, no. Because if we look back, we have talked about how it would be for like us living together or for like us in like a marriage situation or like with child situation. I actually have expanded notes on that for this particular topic because we see these two in these situations a lot as well, and I feel like in ways they better represent how it would likely be with yourself and I.
Well, when
In
they
some
do move
moments.
in and like Patrick starts having the night terrors, it just like starts literally moving his rock house and like banging SpongeBob with it.
Can we for a moment talk about that, how we see so often what is going on with the home renovations, Patrick?
I don't know.
Sometimes it's fully sunken in and you have a full living room and you have a bed and you have things going on. And in this particular episode,
The house is your blanket.
the house is your blanket. Now, we've already discussed the fact multiple times that we're not sharing a bed. We're not even
No.
sharing a room. It's not possible. It's not on the table. It's not happening. That's not good for anyone's sake. Because then we really fighting. That's going to be the problem. But
Hmm.
no, just what would you hear me from across the house because that's what it is. We're on opposite corners. You hear me from across the house having a night terror. There is a demon in my bedroom standing on my chest, and I can do nothing but wail in terror. Not even at you or for you, just blood curdling screams. And you can't just go peek out the window and wait for the police or the cops to arrive because it's in your own house, bitch. What you
Oh
doing?
no.
How do you react to that?
Um, I think at first I would be like, it depends on if I was asleep or not, and
Oh,
like
it's
what
waking
I'm
you up
doing. Like
regardless.
if I'm in my studio like I am right now, and I hear like a oh, oh, and like
I said I'm scared of the ghost, not that I am the ghost.
and then I'll be like,
Just
and then like and then if it kept going like the oh, and then I would probably get up like after like a couple times or like 15 seconds, whichever happens first.
Yeah.
And then I would go and like check it out. And then like if it sounded real crazy, grab a weapon along the way. And
See, this little example that you're giving, like, times it by 3 to 5 at least. Like, I'm talking
if
someone
it
in the house is getting stabbed, bitch.
oh we're going for the weapon initially,
Uh-huh.
and then we'll go in there, and then I'd probably check my corners,
Sure, sure,
and
sure.
then uh probably do
Just while I'm
the
screaming.
I'll do the knob and push the door and step back in case there's anyone lunging,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
and then
She's ready.
see what's going on, and then once I see you acting a fool, just be like, again, depending on if I'm sleeping, do you know what time it is?
No, I don't.
Like, you need some water?
Probably.
So,
A mess.
I don't know.
But then he chases him with the rock. SpongeBob says, nah, fuck this. I'm getting up
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
walking away and I'm making a bed over here in the middle of nowhere. And then you chase me? You would, bitch. You would find the way.
I think if I was having the night terrors, yes, I would go like after anybody, anyone and everyone.
It would be that
Like,
creepy. Suddenly there would be a storm happening, and then like I'm laying in bed, and all of a sudden you're just standing at the foot of my bed, just like looking at me.
I know you're not on the tics and the talks like that, but
I'm
there
not.
is this girl on TikTok who records herself sleepwalking. But sleepwalking sounds cute and fun compared to what she's really doing. And what she's really doing is like there's walking involved, but she's like walking around her bedroom, and her partner, he's sleeping in the bed, and sometimes like the camera cuts to him and he's just like covers with the eyes just in the dark because it's night vision.
Excuse me?
And she's just like she's saying random things like half a one and half a dozen of another, like or six of one, half a dozen of another, like crazy talk. And then like sometimes she's like swimming, she's laughing, and like it'll be dead quiet and it'll just go
Bitch, that's dark
just
sided.
but it's clipped together montages, and she has parts.
Just you telling me about this
Hmm.
gives me chills. That's a nar from me, sweetie. That's a
So
not. No, no, no,
that's
no, no,
Patrick's
no.
night terrors. And I hope if we ever live together, I hope I have those symptoms.
Uh, oh, I see. You're just trying to get me out of the house. You should said, no, I need the space to myself. This is not enough. You need to go.
How crazy would it be for somebody to fake something like that to do something like that?
Oh, so I feel like I know a few people.
That's
You might be
commitment
one
to
of
the
them.
bit. So not only did they live together, but they also had that little baby clam that they raised, like a
Oh,
newborn baby. And
yes.
one of my favorite parts of the episode is when they're pushing it in the stroller and they walk past the lady and the math equation goes above her head, like the star plus the
Yes.
sponge equals clam.
Uh huh.
I
Uh
was
huh.
like, yes,
Totally makes sense.
this is a family.
Where'd you think they came from, sweetie? But I do love that they went that direction with it, being that it's also like, it's just gay. Doesn't matter.
Hmm.
It's
Oh
just,
yeah,
oh,
it
good for
was
them.
definite. There was no hiding it.
And not at all. So that, I think we kind of touched on it before, but that again, just, we kind of talked on us being, first off, what are we, how are we ending up in a situation that we also have a child?
It would be very like late 80s, early 90s movie storyline sitcom, or like a movie storyline for that to have happened.
At that point, it's very Chuck and Larry, and we know about, no, no, no. We're not revisiting that.
Chuck and Larry, or it's like two gays and a baby.
Yeah, which I feel like there's iterations already existing, but it once they get into it, I think this moment in particular of how this episode plays out is very tea on us in this situation. Like
Oh yeah.
maybe like regardless, like we're gonna start off and be giving it our best effort, and we're gonna be Like it kind of excited. Like we decided to do whatever it is that we're doing. So like yes, maybe there's excitement about it, but very quickly working together that closely, living together, playing these roles, mommy and daddy. Ew, I don't like that. I didn't know it. The diaper scene. No, no, no. The what when he is supposed to be home from work, and then he's not home from work. So SpongeBob goes and looks for him and said, "Oh, you said I could have a night off. What happened to that?" And then, "Oh, here's your briefcase that you forgot, full of donuts and ice cream." First off, how that ice cream is still in contact together and not just melted all over that briefcase. We love the magic of animation, but then just dumps it on his head. That's very you. I'll say that. That's just, oh, I've had it. Here you go. In your face.
Um,
I feel like we would get to these points. It's not for us.
did you ever have to do that thing in school where you took care of the egg like that?
No? I know what
Oh.
it is, but I don't think we did it.
Oh, okay. So like you had, because like you, so you didn't have like a partner or anything where you had to take care of something like that. I had to take care of the actual baby, not like a real baby, but like
Mm,
the plastic baby with the bracelet, and you had to like tap it to the back, and it was programmed to different things. Did you do that?
I didn't take those classes, no. I got to miss
Oh,
that
girl,
too.
let me tell
Give me
you,
some
I had
tea. Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
full baby doll.
Was it
And
like
then
the one that was like, quote, alive?
no, it wasn't like baby alive. It was like it, it would cry. You would have to feed it. You would have to
Yes.
change the diaper. You would have to like make sure it was asleep. The head, you couldn't let it roll back. Um, what else? There was a whole bunch of different things that like it did, but you had a bracelet and you had to like tap it to the back and like that would clock the response time and like all of this information would get sent back to the teacher when they plugged the baby in.
Crazy.
And then I wasn't friends with the teacher, obviously. It was the teacher, but like I was friendly with the teacher and she was telling me like I caught her like programming schedules and I was like, so you can like give like a anybody anything and like if there's a student you don't like you can give them like a really crappy schedule and she goes
Oh, love her. Love her. That's very meaty. Like, oh,
and
you don't
so
want to pay
I
attention?
I had like a middle ground one. I had to be
Sure.
like, cause like you had to have like nights, like in the middle of the night, the baby would like start crying, and like you
Mm-hmm.
had the baby for like the school week, and I think I had like 2 nights where like the baby actually was kind of like restless, but like some people had like every night restlessness. So but then I also there was like 3 waves of people to get the babies, and so like the first wave learned all of the hacks and passed them along to the second. So if you
Oh,
were in the third
sure.
group, you were golden. I think I was like in the second group, but like there was terrible hacks for you to make sure the head didn't roll back. You just always made sure the hands were placed right here to catch the head. You had to have a car
Not just
seat for it.
lounging the baby.
And so like you carried it around in the car seat and like also put the car seat in the car for the baby. Well, I used it to burp the baby in bed because it was just pressure on the back. So I just have it and rock it a little hard so the baby was doing this in the chair. So it was just getting that contact. And so it was just a doll. It was just a doll baby.
Just a little doll.
But it did, I guess, like if it like body trauma, it did register, but everything was fine. I got my passing grade. Got a name at everything.
But see, I'm so glad. I already know, and I never real there. I feel like there were times where maybe I was like, "Oh yeah, I want kids." No, mama, it's not for me.
Have we talked about this? I think I want kids in instances. Like I love a theme park. Let's take the kid to the theme park.
Oh,
Let's
you want to talk theme parks?
but like teacher night, no, I'm not.
I I don't even, and it's not. I just know kids.
Uh-huh.
I just they're not. I'm not at a point where like I, for one, obviously I can't really relate to them in any way. We're on
Yeah.
a lot of different interests, a lot of
You
different
know when they go,
levels.
but you were a kid once. No, we were different children. than this child in
Correct.
front of me.
Correct. More
This
often than
child is
not.
this child comes from a not a broken home.
I just, that part. And I just don't have the interest, the mental capacity, the anything to even want to, like, when kids are around, I'm just like, oh no, what can I do to like be away from the situation? I just don't, it's not for me. I don't enjoy them. Some of them can be fun. Yes, I'm not saying children suck. Children are our future. Whatever. Not for me. It's not for me. But I do like that you talked theme parks, because we are going to pivot just for a moment because it's a very brief topic. But I did, as far as Tucchiships go, we see SpongeBob and Patrick often in a theme park environment. We love a thrill. We love something big. And we are fortunate enough to have been on a theme park venture ourselves together.
Oh yeah, for my
For
birthday.
your birthday, Beesh.
The,
We went where? Who? What?
uh-huh,
When?
yeah.
So that was a real good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I love a theme park.
Oh, we love a theme park. And I had not been in so long. And I still have not been since then. And it's a shame. But I, for them, one of the episodes in particular was really big on like facing fears and doing like those thrilling things. And that roller coaster was crazy. But you know, we would have been on that in a heartbeat. Except I don't know, you left me hanging on one of them. You said, no, 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 she's not for me.
Oh no,
She's
just because
wobbly.
there's potential of rollback on that one,
Well,
and
I
that's not
took my
part of the
risk.
ride.
You are
Yeah, I'll do make that
correct.
part of the ride, but that's not part of the ride.
Okay. Okay. I hear
If
you.
it's supposed to happen, I'll do it, but that's not supposed to happen.
Well,
They are just prepared for when it does happen. There's a difference.
when is so when is the last time you felt like you faced a fear? Like, was it a theme park related thing at all? Are there any like,
Mm,
do you have like a fear of heights or like a fear of,
I'm terrified of heights that are unstable. Like if I don't feel safe at that height, like I can be like on a
that's
10-foot
fair?
ladder, like a 15-foot ladder, and if it's wobbly, I won't feel safe, but I'll go on like a 200-foot, 300-foot roller coaster, and like I'm strapped in. I'm like, this is like again, this is supposed to happen. I look at roller coasters like a machine. Like it literally, it just once it gets going, the gravity takes it, and it just rolls through like a machine. And if everything's
Sure.
working correctly, it just gets to where it's supposed to go. So like it's supposed to be happening. Like when you're on a rickety ladder, like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like that's not supposed to happen.
It's fair. It's fair.
Or like I don't do like nature heights.
Oh,
Like
you
if
don't want to
it's
be up
not
on the
safe. Yeah,
mountain.
like if it's not like on like a platform or like safety bars or
Just a
um
casual cliff edge. You
partition.
know.
Yeah, like people are like, look over. I'm like, I'm good over here.
I can
I'm
see
real good over
what's
here.
out there. That's all I need.
Hmm.
So we differ in that way. I like a nice little cliff edge. I think it's fun. A little danger.
No, but they're
A
like
little
dangle your feet. I said,
spook.
mm,
Sometimes it's scary, but sometimes it's fun.
no.
It's just fun. A little thrill. A little
No, I would
rush.
never do those like rope swings like on the bridge. Like I wouldn't do bungee jumping. I'll do like a zip line, but I wouldn't do like those crazy like Brazilian jungle zip lines where like you're like, oh
Oh,
cool, trees, 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 drop off, and then all of a sudden it opens up to this like gushing
please.
waterfall and you're a few hundred feet up. That I won't do.
Okay, well we'll leave you to film the whole thing because all of the things that you just mentioned are on my to-do list.
No,
So
no, no.
you can watch and film. Content. Get that
Content, content,
content.
content.
Ooh. I don't know. I mean, I don't know that there's been like a last time I've like faced a fear
Oh yeah.
and like going like maybe small things of like if you go to do a task or maybe talk to somebody or do something and like you're like a little scared of it for
You had
whatever
anxiety
reason.
over it, and you're like, "Well,
Yeah.
that's a relief."
And then right. So like little
Hmm.
things like that, sure. Those happen fairly often, I guess, cuz like just anxieties. But like facing a fear. Like
I don't know.
we
Like,
performed
yeah,
on the
not like
stages,
as
we've
an
performed in
adult can
front of
I.
people, like that takes away a lot of stuff. Like just
But like,
being
I'm also not like scared of a lot. Like, I'm not to say that like, oh, it's just like I'm scared of like hypothetical things. Like more abstract things, not
You're
like
scared of your
physical
mind.
things. Like I'm not like, ooh, the lights went out, I'm terrified. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
It depends why the lights went out, but yes.
yeah. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh, what if like I'm like, what if this idiot on the freeway just decides to like go over? But then like what am I facing then?
Oh,
I'm
I
just
think about
scared of
that.
that. Like I don't want to face that.
Correct. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. Don't put that out there for yourself. Don't do that.
mhm.
That's dangerous.
Like those are the things I'm fearful of, but I don't want to face.
That's understood. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't like the fears. So I've worked on my relationship with spiders. Like that's something. Like I'm at a point now where I don't just entirely like have a panic attack and freak out when I see one. And I can actually be the one to go get a glass or a cup and a something and safely and respectfully get it back outdoors and give it its fighting chance in another space that's not mine. But it was not always that way, let me tell you. We have grown, and that is a fear we have faced. That's a fear compared to where she had been. So,
Oh,
like,
good for you.
working on my relationship with nature, we're trying to be respectful. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I can't think of something where I felt like I conquered it.
Sure.
And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. Like I felt accomplished, but I don't feel like I conquered.
Well, that's different if we're thinking like conquering a fear versus like conquering your life. And like two separate things here. We could talk
If we're
about
talking
that.
about life, she's vanquished.
Oh, okay, exactly. No problems, sweetie. But also like if you aren't really scared of much or scared of anything, then that's good because like you just don't you're not a fearful person. You're not living in fear. Like you don't get scared of things or by things. You just other than your
Oh,
own
see, now that's
mind.
something else. So like let's talk about it. If we're talking about anxiety and all the hypotheticals in the inner saboteur,
Oh, that inner
Sheila.
saboteur.
Hmm.
Just call her Sheila.
Yeah, I found that, well, I didn't find it. I found out that like if you name like that person, like saying that person, all the people in your head, that voice that's like, oh no, you can't do that, or like just gives you wild ideas when you're just sitting there and you're like, your house is gonna burn down and nobody likes you, like just complete arson. Like that's when you go, shut up, Sheila. Like if you personify it, like if you give them a name, like it gives you a way to identify it to be like, oh, those are just like the random thoughts. Like what's that saying? Like you are not your thoughts or whatever.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah.
Hmm. So yeah, it's just like, or don't believe everything you think.
I think
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one. Because
So
I,
like when you deal with that, like that's because I always get that. I'm like what if, or like I'm replaying the Judy Greer incident. Oh my God, that's when I go, Sheila, you need to move on. Like
you do, sweetie. You need to let her go. But if you need to share one last time so that the audience may be in check, I'm not going to stop you.
I mistook
However,
Judy Greer to Leslie Mann to her face
to
after
her
saying
face.
I loved her since George of the Jungle. And it's not that I was not a fan. I just
You were
misspoke.
starstruck.
Like I could have said like 13 going on 30, like all of it.
You could have walked up to her and just said, I'm a sandwich. And that would not have surprised me, to be honest.
And this is after accosting what's her name? Aisha Tyler.
Oh, let's talk about
I got there
her.
eventually.
Let's talk about
Aisha
that
Tyler
one.
just going, Girlwood, Girlwood. Because I was like, it's her catchphrase. Like, no, hi, hello, how are you? Whatever happened to hi, hello, my name is. It was just
Exactly.
Girlwood.
Oh,
And she was just, yes,
no.
Girlwood, my friend, yes. And like, sign my thing and move
Sure.
on.
Yeah. All right.
And then there's the one guy from SNL. And like, again, this was like the Archer cast signing. And
She's
like, I was shoved
keeping
into
it
it at the last second. I'm not an
going.
Archer fan, so wasn't knowing who to expect. So it was like who's in front of me, instantly recognize them and find something to like show I know your work. Cause like I feel like I knew like each person, but like it just, and it was Comic-Con, it was so much happening.
Sure,
Like
sure, sure.
so like it was so much to keep up with and to process and to like So that's why it happened. Plus, I'm like really awkward to begin with. So like that handicap was already like placed on the entire interaction. So yeah, it was the girl
Yeah.
one. And then like there was I don't even remember his name, but he's on Archer. He's probably was like on SNL. What is like Steve Parnell, I think.
That sounds
And
familiar.
I wanted to have been like, oh, you're the guy at the end of Down with Love. He makes like a 2-second cameo to like introduce Ewan McGregor and Renee Zellweger. I think for the credit song.
Just a little quick
So,
hi.
and
Just
so like I would
the
be like, he'd
obscure
be like, yes,
references.
that
That
is
is
my
my
claim to fame.
token. Absolutely. Yes, it
That one.
is.
Thank you so much for remembering. So, but I didn't get to it because after I was like, oh my God, I loved you so much. Since George of the Jungle, she said, and then he looked at her, and then I didn't realize it, but playing it back, I said, I okay. And then I walked away and then like went like a row over, and then that's when it went. And I said, that was not her. I said she wasn't in George of the Jungle. And then by then I was like, do I go back? Do I say something? But he's got to rent it
No,
out.
no, you do not go back. You do not say something.
You did not collect
Not
200.
after you assault yourself.
Yeah, it just hit me out of nowhere. Like that's not even the
Oh,
full.
wow. Uh
Mhm.
huh. You recognized that. I
Like
don't think I've
the
ever.
processing caught up. Like I control alt deleted.
Mm-hmm. That's wild.
Yeah, so Sheila still brings it up,
Of course she
and I
does.
have to tell her.
I do sometimes, and I'm sorry, but I'll probably do it again.
I still I I call it exposure therapy anytime I watch something with Judy Greer in it,
Just
especially
working
when
your
I'm
way
not
back up.
expecting it.
Uh
Just like at
huh.
Comic-Con, I was expecting to be part of the signing anything. There was just they open up the line and like push me in. So it's I was watching Jurassic World and she just shows
Yes.
up and I said, "Bring it. Bring it."
It's a test, and bitch, I
Mhm.
will pass. Thank you.
Like I feel like after she comes on the screen, I'm like, "All right, I nominate the following 3 people." Like it is such like a full experience.
All right, Judy Greer. Just living rent free in your mind all the time. Just pop it in for casual cameo hellos.
Sheila said, "Hey."
Hey, hey,
Oh my
girl.
goodness. So let's back to these notes.
So one thing that was kind of funny to me and that I was kind of thinking about us is when Squidward, particularly like, so we're not living together, but we live in the same neighborhood, right? And this may be more of an actual possibility for us in a future here, not too far.
On a commune.
Correct. We're just buying out the block and it's just a party every day. But having that neighbor who despises you both and unfortunately lives in between you,
hmm
first off, all of the ways that you and I would fuck with this person.
Oh yeah. I would turn it in. I'm already petty, but I would
Oh,
go
yeah.
to like it would be like sibling dynamics where it would be like the I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. It would get into
Very.
that.
Oh,
That's the
absolutely.
only option.
The way when the episode where he tries to keep them apart
hmm
and he blocks off the backyard. And first off, it's just a drawing in the
Yeah,
sand.
he just draws the sand off.
And they still just are running back and forth around the block. And I love Patrick, again, Good Tucci. I'll mail myself to you. First off, you can't walk down the street.
Yeah, you
Let's
can't
talk about
walk
that.
around.
But that, honestly, him saying, I'll mail myself to you just has made me think of the multiple times I have driven down the coast, the western coast,
Oh
to
my
come
goodness.
and
Through
visit
the
you
through
and
the
yours is
valleys, over the mountains,
through,
beyond the
bitch,
trees,
through the wildfires,
along the coast.
through everything. Absolutely. And loved it every time. Let's not get it
I
wrong.
was gonna be don't pretend like there wasn't something here waiting for you on the other end. Like you didn't have lots of fun, you didn't have experiences.
Honestly, these have helped me realize, bitch, I love a road trip. I
hmm
apparently love it. Now, it has to be the right scenario, the right people, the right, it has to be set up correctly. But I love a road trip. Just going, driving, taking your shifts if you have the people, making your stops here and there when you need to. But like, there's just something, I don't, it's fun.
But like, I feel like there's a difference between a road trip and what you do. Like a road trip, like you make stops along the way, like hotel stops. Like
Well, I've
you
done that
can,
as well.
yeah, you just continuously keep it moving,
Well,
which is
I
what I
would
take.
say a road trip can be anything. At least from my experience so far, because I've not done long distance heavy road trips often. But if it breaks like a day, a full day, 24 hours, that's a road trip, mama. That's a road
Ugh,
trip. But
ugh.
I've done the from corner to corner
I'll
3 days
do
stopping
six to
just to
eight.
sleep.
That's all I got in me before I need to like get out of the vehicle for several hours.
What if we were in like a full, nicely well done little RV home moment? Could she survive a little longer in a situation?
Oh, that's different. Yes.
But if we're just in a car,
Yeah, if we're sitting like even if I'm in the front seat or if I'm driving, like yeah, I can't.
that's fair. It is tough. But stopping
Mhm.
every couple of hours, whether you have to refuel or maybe just like if you have to charge up a car, like whatever you're needing to do, get some food, take a bathroom break, that helps and is nice. It also longs the time, but it it's
A little bit.
whatever. A little bit, just a wee little bit.
Ooh, Paquito.
But yes, I don't know. I love a road trip. I think they're really fun, and I think at some point I do want like an RV just to have to be able to road trip and explore and go places and do things. And I'm gonna steal you, and we're gonna test you. Full
Oh,
kidnapping.
okay.
Yeah, okay, let's go.
One of my favorite things about SpongeBob and Patrick is that they love merch that celebrates their friendship.
Oh yes.
Like the BFF rings. Didn't they have like
Mm-hmm.
matching underwear?
They have
Just a whole
matching
bunch of stuff that like
shirts.
tells the world this is my Tucci.
Not only do they have matching BFF rings, but they are customized. They open up. They have mini figures of themselves doing a
Bust it,
dance.
baby.
Bus it, baby. They're doing the most in all of the ways. And I know for a fact that that is very us because I could go pull 3, 4, 5 pieces of jewelry right now hanging on my jewelry wall that may not be identical to you, but did come from you or are inspired by you or gifts from you in some way, shape, or form
Hmm.
that are very much our 2G judge. So the t-shirts alike. We've got the bag. We got accessories.
Hmm.
So
Oh,
yes,
if it's little twin stars, mama, forget it.
I
Forget it.
I have surprises for you,
In the car.
bitch.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
TBD. Your next little gift, bitch.
Yeah, I need
I
to
come
start
on
on
to
your
some new
basket.
things.
I haven't started since I gave you your Cheetah Girl shirt.
I don't know why, but I thought about her today. I do wear her. She's my like lounge around the house
Sh-
shirt.
She's Cheetah-licious.
Oh, she is very delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Growl power. And also more
Yeah,
on that later. Thank you
you
very
promise?
much.
So, yes, they love the merch. They love celebrate. They love celebrating, but I also love that they share their hobbies together. Like they'll cosplay together as Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. They got their jellyfish in. They also April Fool girl, April Fool.
April Fool all day, every day.
Uh-huh. And I think that's the basis of their friendship is like they get to not only like act a fool with this person because like some people you can just like get wild with, but like I feel like they don't have any guards up, and so they can be
No.
like their true selves with the other person.
Absolutely. And I guess again maybe you get that with the longevity, but even at our such short term, at this point there's not much that I can think of that would be off limits mayhaps with you and I here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like we don't really have we keep things respectful regardless and we're not giving all doing the most. But we yeah, so good for them. I was because we have been known to dress and play and cosplay and do things of the nature. First off, it took a lot in me to not wear
Oh my god, your costume.
My mermaid man costume today because I've got it, but
Uh-huh.
all you would see is a yellow shirt and some suspenders, so it would not have made sense because I'm not wearing the nose. No, thank you. I'm nasal enough
Oh.
as it is. Could paint it on.
Oh. Oh.
But what little duo could we do? Who would be cute for us? What vibes would you see? I mean, we could do our little duo, but if we're doing like a cosplay,
Yeah, are you doing well, first of all, are you doing the drags?
it's open. Anything is on
Hmm.
the table.
Well, I used to joke that we were like Donnie and Marie.
Oh my God. I'm sitting over fully thinking of like heroes, villains, like comic characters or video game characters. It used to come out Donnie and Marie.
Johnny and
Just Donnie
Marie
and
always
Marie.
been.
I mean,
Huh?
down. Down would be
Mm-hmm.
hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like if I were doing
I think we could even if you want to do like cosplay characters like as boys, I think we could get away with like a McLovin and a Michael Cera.
yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately.
you already have one of these pretty down pat. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And you brought me the license to prove it.
Exactly. You were ready. See, I was really just helping your cosplay career, your journey
Mm-hmm.
into this character. You're welcome.
We need to do one of those TikTok filters where it's like the morphing, where I can anamorph into McLovin.
I vote this. I will
Oh,
second this movement.
all the ticks and the talks.
Call to action immediately.
He was at my birthday dinner, talking about sucking ticks and talks.
The ticks and talks. Oh my God.
Do the people's work.
The
So
people's
I don't. I
Deloitte.
was thinking about it, and like obviously we do production things and stuff, but I don't know if we have like hobbies like they do that we share. You know what I mean? Like we're not out there jellyfishing. Also, we're just not out there together because, like you talked about, you have like a 26-hour road trip.
Correct, correct, correct.
But I think when we do have activities that we do together, like we enjoy them, like our outings and stuff. Like
Oh,
those are obviously like
1000%.
commonalities. Mama with the drag show, the drag
Correct.
show.
Correct. The gals.
Uh-huh, the theme parks. We
Hmm.
went to the pool in the middle of the theme park day. That
That
was nice.
was one of the best times of the trip. We love a thrill, but that was just a good time with
We
everybody.
needed her. We said
That
we
was
need to go back to this
refreshing.
hotel.
She was nice and refreshing.
Refreshing.
Refreshing of the mind, body, and soul, sweetie, let me tell you.
Until I stepped on a bee. And even then it was whatever, just pump the sting around and keep it.
As a true good Tucci, I vaguely, no, I intimately recall laughing at you for that, and I am sorry.
Well, like I remember I stepped over and I was like I got out of the pool and I was like, I think I felt like did I step on something on the bottom of the pool? Like did I place
Oh,
my foot on something? And you were like, I think there was like a bee or something over here. And I was like, oh well, stepped on it and then checked my foot and then there was a little stinger with some little
the
barbs. Are
entire
you a barb?
lower half of my body had just felt, I didn't like it. Sensations. I didn't, nope. I don't
And
like
it
the
wasn't
thought
that
of
bad
stepping on it.
considering like I had the rest of the day to walk on it. Like I didn't even feel it was nothing but a hair flip.
Oh, we love that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So
I don't know about hobby. Like, I feel like we do share hobbies, and it really just is kind of the distance. Like, we would do a lot more of them together if we were together, whether it was
like
like
your
craft
music and
days or art
things.
days, music days, like,
Hmm.
absolute all of it, all of the above, beach days. Like, we have a lot of shared interests, and that's why we've become strong Tucci's so long so far. So, yeah, I don't, it's there for us. And
Hmm.
one day she will be into fruition.
Hmm.
But let's talk a few little final thoughts if we have any final high points of notes that we wanted to touch on or just any little recap moments of this iconic duo that is SpongeBob and Patrick.
Hmm.
We've kind of go no, please help yourself.
Well, I was just gonna say,
Give it
is
to
there
me.
any aspects of their friendship that you see in ours? Mm.
Aspects uh the Tucciness, bitch.
The baseline.
Just the baseline Tucciness, the longevity, the tomfoolery, the April Fool, the just the matching accessories and wearables, the t-shirts, the adventures, uh, the, anything to add? I mean,
The shenanigans and
yeah,
henanigans.
thank you very much. I actually, you know what? There is one note I just realized I forgot, and this is just a very simple, quick note. Was would we fake a fight just to get into a club? And I simply wrote underneath that, yes.
My notes was we broke the law and we're on the run. What law did we break? Because remember, they
Wait,
did have to go on the run for a little bit.
wait. Okay, let's
Mhm.
talk about her for a second. What law did we break?
This will be our final thought.
This will be the final thoughts for the day.
Mhm.
I what? Who will play her?
Casual embezzlement.
Because that would have to be just more than petty theft. You
Hmm.
know, like if we're doing it big. I don't know if that's the moment that we're robbing the bank.
But it's
Maybe.
not cash embezzlement. It's
Ooh.
like uh like prepackaged utensil embezzlement. You know what I mean? Like sweet and low packet embezzlement. Like things that are free, you shouldn't take a lot of, but we're taking a lot. Like we're breaking the
And
societal
we just
rules.
got we took it too far. We really
They
went
said
there.
pre-sample, we said thank you with the tray.
Okay.
hmm
Okay.
That kind of embezzlement. Just
All right.
like victimless embezzlement.
So they say. Sure.
hmm
Yeah. Those people missing out on their sweet and low. Damn. She said, it's okay. I brought my own. Don't worry about it.
Sorry about your diabetic coma.
Oh my God. So the fun question, as always, who will be who? Who will play her? Who do we think? What are your initial thoughts?
I feel like on like a more regular day, I would be SpongeBob, but I know I don't have every aspect of his personality. But I also don't feel like you're like a Patrick either.
It
I
is.
think the only logical explanation is that we're both Squidward.
Oh, but that. Oh, but that. That's some tea, maybe. That's some real life bullshittery right there.
Uh-huh.
It is. It's as always. There's just moments and traits from kind of either both. I would say more so SpongeBob Mama right here right now.
Mhm.
Hello. In certain ways, not in any of his personality or his more like following than like leadershipness, because you would definitely be more of like the leader and like you like to take charge and plan things out and get shit done. But for Patrick, like it is funny that like SpongeBob is like the working gal. She's got the pet, she's got the house, and then Patrick like has his hobbies and has his friends and has whatever he
His talk
does,
show now.
his talk show. So in a few ways, bitch, you're Patrick. It is very notable, but
No, this is Patrick.
thank you very much. But yes, there. If we're throwing Squidward in the mix, it's a
hmm
wrap. We're both Squidward. It's all said and done. That's that
hmm
one. And I don't think we really have any question either on how we would rate this Tucciship.
Oh, yes.
It is pretty obvious. It was set
Mhm.
to be obvious. And no matter how many trials and tribulations and extra tomfooleriness that gets going, Mama, this is a lifetime
Oh, yeah, that's a
Tucciship
good one.
for life, forever, for always. And to be honest, it'll probably still be running well beyond either of our days, which are numbered. But SpongeBob and Patrick will still be living strong for the rest of eternity. Mama.
Thanks to syndication.
Good for them. Get those royalties.
hmm
Yes.
So
Well, I
yeah,
think
it's a
that's
cute
about
one.
does it.
I love it. I love them. I've been watching them since the beginning, but I just couldn't remember when the beginning was.
It did. This is the beginning. This right here, right now, today of something.
hmm
But yeah,
So yeah, it's cute. Cute.
we love
Precious.
SpongeBob and Patrick. Still watch them, and we'll continue to watch them.
They're wild these days though. It's a little too much.
I'll watch some old stuff. We
It's
have
not like the
access.
first three seasons. The first three seasons are where it's at. I don't come at me.
We got changes. You know, it
hmm
happens. New audiences, whatever. Anyway,
Well, thank you so much for listening, and be sure to check us out on all of the podcatchers that you listen to us on and YouTube.
Yes, that part. Check us out. You can follow along with all of the craziness and wildness of our own at our TikTok and Instagram at Good Tuccis, as always.
And be sure to check out our Linktree where you can find additional content and also the link to our Discord community. So
Ooh.
until next week, bye.
Bye, Tuccis.